You talk about in your book the commission that's just being released this week, just being released today, Zelikow's secret relationship with Karl Rove. He's this week becoming a commentator on Fox News, but much more relevant was his top status within the White House, top advisor to President Bush.
Well, what I can tell you is that in 2003, Karl Rove called Zelikow a number of times at the commission. We know this because there are phone logs recording Rove's calls in. Now, Zelikow had a lot of ties to the Bush administration, and that was known to some degree when he signed on to the investigation. And he had assured the commission that he would do his best to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest and would cut off most of these ties with his friends in the White House and elsewhere. It becomes known on the commission staff in 2003 that despite these promises, Zelikow is having conversations with, of all people, Karl Rove. And this creates, as you might imagine, a huge amount of alarm and suspicion on the commission staff. You know, what is the executive director of the 9/11 Commission doing talking to Karl Rove? Now, Rove's people at the White House, you know, his friends and allies there, and Zelikow insist that this was completely innocent and that this involved Zelikow's work at the University of Virginia. And indeed, Zelikow's work at the University of Virginia centered around presidential histories. So Karl Rove is somebody he would have normally at the university had some sort of contact with, I assume. And there's an odd development thereafter, which is Zelikow calls in his secretary, shuts the door, and informs her that she is no longer to keep phone logs of his contacts with the White House. The secretary is alarmed by this, worries that she's being asked to do something improper, and then contacts the chief lawyer for the commission to alert him to what's happened. As I say, this whole sequence creates a great alarm and a great suspicion about what Zelikow is up to.
The book by Philip Shenon, The Commission, The Uncensored History of the 9/11 Investigation, raises obviously some disturbing criticism in addition about the Commission's work. I was struck in particular by the questions he raised about your communications with Karl Rove during that period, and also that the issue of whether you sought to have your secretary remove the logs of your phone calls with Karl Rove during that period. Could you respond to those issues raised by Shenon?
Well, not only can I respond to them, the commissioners actually have responded and will respond to anyone who asks them, because I was authorized by the commission to talk to White House officials regularly, as was the general counsel, Dan Marcus. But on this business of Rove, it's a little ironic, since I don't even really know Rove. We had two brief contacts that had to do with University of Virginia business, because I used to direct the Presidential Research Center. In both cases, we handed off the issues to others. The university actually has records on this matter. I told Shenon all of this. The business about phone logs, actually, two of the three people who took my calls don't even remember this story. This appears to be a garble having to do with whether the message slips would be left out on the counter.
Well, let me ask you directly this very straightforward allegation of Philip Shenon, that he said that you called in your secretary, shut the door, informed her she was no longer to keep phone logs of your contacts with the White House. She got so alarmed that she went, thinking it was improper, that she went to the chief lawyer for the commission to alert him about what's happened. Did you tell her not to keep logs of your White House calls?
If someone will just go talk to the chief lawyer of the commission, you don't have to rely on my account of this. I mean, there are other people who have knowledge of these facts, And there's no there there.
And so you're saying you did not tell her? You did not tell her not to keep logs?
There are no phone logs for the commission. There are no phone. The commission had no phone logs. So I couldn't tell her not to keep logs in a situation where the commission didn't have phone logs.
But she kept your logs. She kept your logs.
I did not have any phone logs.
So you're saying you did not. This is a completely fabricated story.
This is a garble of something that's probably come 2 or 3 layers removed from people who don't actually understand the way our office worked. But no one in the office thought that I was concealing anything from the commissioners, and the commissioners don't think I was concealing anything from them because they were briefed on all these contacts.